Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Pitstop podcast. I'm Jaco van der Merwe, joined as always by Mark Jones and Shell Bosch. The first Toyota product of the year. Any Toyota products is usually a big one. It's the updated, facelifted Corolla Cross this time. The launch was very recently. It didn't drive too far in them. What was very interesting, we drove the 1.8, the pure ICE, the internal combustion engine for the first time, which was actually better than I thought or anticipated. We've always had the hybrids, yes. But we'll get to that now. What they said, the crux of the matter, Mark, is they said same powertrains. We've got the 1.8 and then obviously the 1.8 combined with the self-charging hybrid, the battery and electric motor. What they said was they are very aware of the Chinese. Make no mistake. They said, and adding a lot of spec to this car also is in anticipation of the whole Chinese onslaught. And very importantly for Toyota, they've got, obviously they sell across the board, but they've got major pillars in their stable. The one is obviously Hilux. The one is Starlet. The one is Fortuner. The one is the Hi-Ace. Another one, a major one for them, is the Corolla Cross.
100%. Yeah.
And if you look at their sales, we can sort of say it's been Chinese proof in a way. But yeah, very important for them. If they need products like that.
Yeah, they are trading heavily on their reputation. It's a Toyota. That's how you said it. It's a Toyota. Yeah. People kind of know without even thinking it's reliable. It's going to be good for the next 20 years. You park it on your driveway. It's not the Corolla days of 30 years ago where we always used to joke, if you ever wanted to commit the perfect crime, all you do is arrive and leave in a white Corolla. Nobody will know you were there.
Yeah.
You know, it's changed. I mean, Toyota's a formidable brand now. And, yeah, they're trading on that, but they're speccing their cars better. They know they're in a war. My concern is, how much longer can these people continue to deliver this sort of quality, this sort of spec? The Chinese are coming hard. And we've all driven the cars and sort of spec-wise, they're pretty good. I mean, let's not knock them. They're pretty darn good. But there are those niggles with driving, throttles and stuff that irritate you. But people who walk in the showroom, I've got 400 grand to spend or 350, they trade on price. And that guy that says, hey, look here. So, yeah, Toyota's I think, in a big fight. Is it a fight for their life? No, you can still see by their sales last month. I mean, they double everybody else. But there is cannibalization. The people are eating little pieces off the bottom of them slowly.
Charles, one of the big things for this Corolla Cross range is the hybrid. And they said last year, they said themselves or the year before, they were very surprised by what the demand was for those initial hybrids. If we look at the range starting at just over 400, but in my opinion, the sweet spot in that Corolla Cross range is the XX, XS, the mid-spec one, hybrid, at 495,000.
Yes.
That's kind of unique in that space. You could add in a few Havals, but also the problem there is fuel consumption.
Yes.
This thing's fuel consumption absolutely solid. It's proven. Yeah. I took it for the 3,000 kilometer December trip. We came back, it was 5.6, 5.7, which is phenomenal. So as long as they have that, you would guess they're kind of safe.
Yes, that is their biggest incentive, if I can put it that way. I mean, locally built, as we all know, at the Durban plant. And what you're also saying is correct. They completely underestimated how many hybrids they were going to sell. Yes, the normal 1.8 petrol makes up still the majority of the sales, partially also because the basic model, the XI, is only available with the petrol engine as their opening one, because at that price, the hybrid system will prove to be a little bit too expensive, hence why they only make it in the the XS, the XR, and the GR Sport. So, it took them by surprise completely. We knew for a while that there was even a waiting list for the hybrid version, a couple of months. I think it was a 6-month or something waiting list for the hybrid. And that's key. I mean, when we all know that fuel is starting to rise again.
Always, yeah.
And if you let's also call a spade a spade. The biggest thing about a hybrid is city driving. That's where the hybrid scores the biggest. On an open road, it's going to be a little bit thirstier because you have to have the battery pack, and the electric motor adds weight. But the main incentive for that is town driving.
Well, I think that's why it worked.
Yeah.
I think they sold it on fuel consumption. It is hybrid. It's got little batteries and stuff going on. But what they did well was they didn't actually worry about that. Kind of, your wife walks in there or something, look for a car. She says, ma'am, look at this car.
Yes.
Lights on fuel. You just drive it. It's got its automatic mode, its intelligent mode. And people go, I don't even have to think about it. And they drive it, and it's got light fuel. It's when you talk about hybrid or plug-in hybrid.
Yeah, or then
people go, oh no, my good God, I can't plug it in. Where do I plug it in? So Toyota, this hybrid system of theirs, it's a no-brainer. You don't have to do anything. No. Fuel consumption's brilliant. And I mean, I'm telling you, at 5 litres, and we've pegged it. I've just got out of a Cherry Cross, and the best I could do overall, not trying, but just normal driving, was 10.3. So if you're getting 5.6, call it 5 litres. 5 litres by $20 is 100 rand.
Yes.
For every 100 Ks you drive that car. So you do 100,000 Ks in your Cherry versus your Toyota. It's an extra 100K that you've paid for that privilege.
Yeah, what we've been discussing, because we've never had the 1.8, the naturally aspirated, the same as in the normal Corolla and all. We've never had that on test. We were speculating that Toyota claimed 6.8, so that probably means at least 8.
Yes.
So on the launch, it was a bit of town driving and then out. We got in the mid-8s. And we speculated you can take that up to almost 10 or in the 9s. So even then, what we would consider a poorer offering or a less fuel economic offering, if you compare that to a Chinese product, it's still better.
It's much better, miles better.
Or minimum on par.
Yeah.
Yes,
Argument,
yes.
light foot.
Yes.
But it's right there. Yeah.
And without the supposed stigma of a diesel engine. We all know, even though we as South Africans still love diesel, the world is against diesel
diesel's dirty.
completely. Yeah, diesel's dead, unfortunately, even though they're still here. And that's what Toyota's alternative was, because they had diesel in some of the vehicles previously with RAV and with Corolla and so on. And that's now all been replaced by cleaner, more self-conscious green tech.
Yeah.
And it's working.
100%.
It's absolutely working.
Because they don't complicate it.
No.
They don't try and explain 48-volt systems too much. All of the stuff they touch on, they just do it conservatively. And the guy gets the car and he just knows it's going to be lighter on fuel.
Yes.
And he goes, oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Forget the technical stuff, which battery does what, who kicks in where,
Yeah.
you just drive it.
And-
And that's the win.
And you have, and this is something that I also personally like, is you have the readout of the hybrid system, how it works on all the Toyota products. And it puts you in this mindset where...
Challenging that.
Exactly.
How can I keep the power from not only from the engine?
Yes.
How can I keep power directing to the battery from the electric motor?
And can I up my battery? Can I have the
Yes.
little graph? Can I have the battery completely full? It puts you in a mindset the whole time. And then when you look at your scoring, your driver training scoring, it puts you in that whole mindset of driving economically and so on. In that basis, they've cracked it.
Well, it's funny you say that, because it's quite a valid point. I do the same. Every hybrid car I get in, you kind of see where you can go with it.
Yeah.
I do wonder, though, and I mean, we'll only know somebody has had one for 50 or 100,000 Ks and gets in every day. We only get it for a week or so or a month or so. I wonder if they still play that game. Is it something that entrenches in you when you have a hybrid car that, let's not race from traffic light to traffic light. Let's cruise and lift and let everything regen. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, it's maybe a psychological thing. It works in favor of the car.
Tell you, I put 3,000 kilometers, and from the first to the 3,000th kilometer, I was absolutely fixated on that.
You ignore the radio or all the other settings. You become, as you say, permanently fixated on how I can up my score, my driver's score. How can I...
Or lower the fuel consumption.
Yes, how is the electric motor working? Oh, it's now only running on the petrol engine. Oh, now it's sending power to the wheels. It's fascinating.
On that hybrid point, I asked Toyota last week at the launch, when they launched the Corolla Cross initially in 2021, they said they are incentivizing the hybrids by 30,000 Rand. in anticipation of future government assistance. That was the exact words. We all know that hasn't happened. So I asked them last week, has that affected the bit of a price hike for now? Are they still absorbing everything? The official answer was they're absorbing some of it, but they have had to hike the hybrid prices slightly. But still, this is incentivized. It's locally built. So that 495 for that XS trim grade, that is still as good as you can wish for now. If you haven't bought one before, you still have time to buy it.
Yeah.
But eventually, if the government doesn't get on board, that's going to have to be high.
Yeah.
And that's making this deal even sweeter.
You know what? We laughed at the launch in 2021. It was one of the biggest launches in the local motoring history ever. There was, I think it was 70 cars at that event. And Toyota said that they want this to be an effective, almost top seller, topping Hilux. And we thought, how on earth are you going to do that? You want to sell so many of them. There's no way that that this is going to outsell a Hilux. Last year, they sold over nearly 22,000 crosses. Yes, there was over 30,000 Hiluxes were still sold. But if you look at the monthly sales figures, 2,000 odd Corolla Crosses get sold sometimes. And it's getting close to Hilux in months where Hilux has not reached 3,000 sales units or even 2,500. Corolla Cross has been there with 300 or 400 unit differences.
South Africans love Toyota.
Yeah.
And it's a good product.
Yep.
It takes the Corolla. I mean, you just, like I said, the Corolla nameplate boring. It's not. Raise it a little, give it a little bit of an SUV vibe. Winner, chicken dinner. I mean, come on.
And this new grille on it is very Lexus-y in front. It's very stylish. 2 new colors. And I don't know why the GR Sport's keeping the old grille, but the new one. But yeah, you'll be seeing a lot of those on the road, especially in that yellow color. But yeah, that's all from us this week. As soon as we get these on test and get to spend more time in them during the course of the year, we'll report back to you. Thank you for listening. You can go and like this podcast, share it, or even better, follow the YouTube channel. That's all from us this week. Thank you very much for listening. Cheers.